Okay, and it is now time for the next item on our agenda, and with great pleasure, I am going to pass over to the spectacularly talented and tall bunny hand-wearing Phoenix Defier for tonight. Tonight. Oh gosh, is it? It's not good if it's at this time already, and I feel like it's night time.
This is just the second item, and you're screwing it up already.
No, I screwed up the first one too. I mean, I've got to maintain standards. We're going to pass right over to Phoenix Defier with a demonstration of his elite miniature game. Here we go. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening or afternoon, everyone. It's not even afternoon, actually. You've got me going now, Grant. Thanks a lot. And welcome, and hopefully you'll be able to see in front of you the Elite Miniatures game board. As you can see, we did a demonstration of this a couple of years ago when we were all actually physically together. So this is going to be the first attempt at doing it virtually. And I have two wonderful volunteers that are going to help us out. We have the chief of what you can only describe as chief of retro. That would be Stephen Usher. Say hello, Stephen.
Good morning.
Good morning. And also a volunteer who just said, "Oh, I'd like to have a go at this over the internet." So this is the first time I'm using a stranger from the internet. Hello, Mr. James Flint.
Good morning, everyone. How you doing today?
Hello. We have to thank James for actually getting up at 6 a.m. in the morning to take part in this.
So far, no regrets.
Okay, that's good. Now, I have supplied the two of you with a set of what is known as maneuver cards and details about your ship and your crew that are here on the board. Now, just to give you a little bit of history about this game, this is actually the second edition. The first edition exists in the Elite Encounters role-playing game, which is one of the Kickstarter projects that came to fruition. Since then, it's obviously been revised and evolved, and so far you can see here we've now got these 3D printed models. These 3D printed models are basically taken from the game itself and scaled to, I think, a scale of 155. So believe it or not, when you see the size of the asp and the cobra, that's how genuinely the size they are in the game. They are wonderfully painted by Commander Beetlejude, which you can see here. This is the Fer-de-Lance, which is she's done a good job with there. And of course, what I really enjoyed she did was the Lavecon Type 6. Now, we have to give an applaud to Commander Beetlejude, if you know her, because she does these wonderful artistic paintings based on Elite Dangerous. I think also there might be some of them in the raffle later today. So the idea behind the game is originally started as an X-Wing miniatures game port, and then evolved and got more elite and more nuanced. So now it's a different beast whatsoever. So we now have, as I was saying, James and Stephen haven't played this game before. Stephen hasn't played any kind of tabletop game before, so this will be interesting. James, have you had any tabletop game experience?
Sure. I was an addict of a lovely collectible called HeroClix years ago.
Right. So you're basically you've seen these kind of things before. I shall just quickly explain the rules. Each turn, everybody is broken down into 4 phases. The first phase is what is known as the tactical phase. It's where players will decide what maneuver their ship is going to do for that turn. Now, they do this by basically choosing a maneuver from one of these cards, from this deck, rather. They will choose one of these maneuvers and then put it behind the ships. I'll put the maneuver behind the ship like that. And then when it comes to their turn and the next one, the next phase, rather, will reveal what that maneuver is going to be, and then I will move the ship. So obviously, we've got this tactical phase first. Then we have what is known as the maneuver phase. At that point, the ships will move in order of the piloting skill. Now, each ship has a pilot, and you can see here that this is the pilot rating. The crew card rather, and he's got a top rating there of piloting, which is 7. It's a dangerous rated pilot on the ASP. One thing that should be pointed out at this point is that for those of you who are very familiar with Elite Dangerous, and I hope you all are, you will all know that the ASP is a medium-sized ship, and the Cobra and the Viper are small ships. Now, this means that the ASP does get certain advantages. It has more power, and because of that, that will come into play when it comes to maneuvering. Now, one thing I should point out is that each of these ships has power points. Now, these power points are very important. A ship has 4 stats, which are weapons, engines, systems, and hull. Now, the weapons, engines, and system all have 1 power point in them. But those power points can be shifted about to give you advantages or disadvantages when you need it. So if you start losing shields, for instance, you can put more shield power into your systems and you'll get shields back at the end of the turn. Yes, the other thing is that all these ships have shields, which is basically their systems value. And what happens is once they come under attack and their systems have been reduced to 0, or they run out of shields, then they will start taking damage on the hull. And of course, once a ship reaches -1 hull, it explodes. It has special rules if you go down to 0. So, just to recap the phases again, we've got tactical, we've got maneuvering. Next, we have combat. That's when everybody's finished maneuvering. And if people are in range, and we hope that they will be quite soon, then the firing will begin, and damage and all happens of mayhem will happen at that point. And then finally, you have the repair phase, where you have an opportunity to either, if you've put power into your systems, for instance, you'll get shields back, or you have the opportunity to repair damaged hull and systems. So, after that quick go, now, gentlemen, this will probably be quite an easy one to start with. I'm going to ask if you can DM me the maneuvers that you want your ships to do, and I will just quickly run around and put those maneuvers behind the ships.
All right.
I'll just try and work out how to do DM in Twitch.
Oh no, you can just
sorry,
send it and send it over in Discord. It'll be fine.
Okay.
And while they're doing that, the maneuverings, the maneuvers are handled with these templates here. As you can see, they are not the standard X-Wing templates. They have been modified for this game to give them a little bit more of a maneuver. So,
Does that work for you?
Yeah, that works absolutely fine. So what I'll do is I'll find that maneuver here. Right, that's there. And we're just waiting for Stephen to do his 2 ships. Now, I should point out that you'll notice that James has 1 ship, and he has a dangerous pilot. However, Stephen has 2 ships, but the pilots aren't as good. Right, just bear with me a sec, and I'll put the things behind Stephen. Right, so we now have everybody's maneuvers set. Now, what happen? How things maneuver? How things work in maneuvering? Well, first thing I ask is, does anybody want to actually change their power levels, or are they absolutely happy with having it balanced across weapon and engines and systems?
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I'll let it ride for now.
Okay, right. In that case, what we do is we start with the lowest rated pilot, and then to the next rated pilot, and obviously to the best rated pilot. So we'll do it in that reverse order. Once you've made a maneuver, you have an option to do an action, which in this case would be either locking missiles or going evasive or trying to focus fire. But I don't think anybody's going to be in range later, so we'll just see. So that's Stephen done, and we have James who's doing this. So he's moving the ass round to there. Now, I will point out that this is the firing range that people have. So we've got sort of like that range here, and nobody is able to fire anybody else. So effectively, that's that turn done, because there's no combat, and because nobody's been damaged yet, there's nothing to repair. So, gentlemen, if you could try and work out what you'd like to do next. I'll just point out that the maneuver cards, they just go straight back into the deck. You can use all the maneuvers that are available to you. Yeah, one of the things about the maneuvers is that they are restricted by your pilot rank. Now, each ship has a different set of maneuvers they can do, but that set of maneuvers is restricted by the pilot rank. So even though two ASP explorers can pull the same maneuvers, a dangerous pilot has got more options to them than, say, a competent pilot. So it does get quite complicated when you've got one elite pilot versus 6 or 7 harmless pilots. And the chances are that the elite pilot will still win.
And so our decks are stacked accordingly, right? No, there's nothing in our deck that we cannot perform based on our rank.
The decks, I've said that you can use anything on the first page that I sent you for the pair of you. So
okay,
yeah, anything more than that is too advanced for the ship that you've got.
And these maneuvers, there are a couple of green options, a couple of red, and then yellow. Are there any benefits to doing green versus?
I'm glad you asked that, because what happens if you perform a red action? Your pilot, it's considered a high G action for that ship, and that means that your pilot is basically suffering from high G effects. Now, you can negate that. Well, what happens if your pilot starts getting high G effects? He is not able to do any special actions at the end of their turn, which can be a bit of a hindrance, such as you're not going to be able to lock missiles. And one thing, of course, I completely forgot is everybody has afterburners. So you could have actually fired afterburners at the end of a maneuvering phase, which would given you a little boost further along. But we'll make sure we can put that one in. So, gentlemen, have you selected your maneuvers for the next turn?
Coming in right now.
Right. Okay, this will just take a second.
I'm with you, Sidekit. I know I banked to the left a little bit, but I'm already having a blast. props to Colin for breaking this down so well.
Yeah, Colin could do some Wi-Fi headset.
For those of you watching in black and white, the green cobra is hiding behind the pink.
The American viewers won't understand that reference. It comes from an old TV snooker program that the transition between black and white and color, where the commentator basically said the green is behind the red or something similar. For the black.
Yeah. Okay. Stephen, your first maneuver was see if I've got this one right. You wanted to do that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. Okay. So that means that your ship will move from there to there. Okay.
Yep.
That's nice and straightforward. This one here is for your 4 straightforward. Flip that one over to there. That actually should remain around there, but so take the 4 and we move you to there. Now, Stephen, at this point, do you want any of your ships to boost, or do you want to take an evasive action?
Boost the Viper.
Boost the Viper. If you boost the Viper, you get a choice. You can either go forward 1 like that, or either left or right with one of those.
Left 1, please.
Left 1 like this.
Left. The other
That way.
the other left. Yeah.
So you've decided to go there.
Yep.
Right. Okay, that's fine. And the Cobra?
No, that'll.
You'll want to leave the Cobra as it
Yep.
is. Okay. Right. We now move on to James. James, you're going forward 2. I do believe.
Indeed.
Yep. So you want to go forward 2. So that's a nice and easy one to here. Now, I'm going to explain firing arcs. Now, if this, as a ship moves into range, you'll see that these things exist on the bases of the ship. Now, what this means is that if a ship had been fitted with fixed weapons, then we'd use the inner red firing angle. But as these ships are standard, they're all assumed to have gimbaled weapons, which we use the outer arc for. So at the moment, James can fire directly onto the Viper. The Viper cannot fire onto the Asp. However, at extreme range, the Cobra can fire on the Asp. So we can actually do some combat. Okay, James, you have we haven't finished actually asking you what you wanted to do. Did you want to boost, or do you want to focus fire? Or focus firing gives you a bonus to hit, but I think it gives you a bonus of. It does give you a bonus of 1. Which would you prefer?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Let's get into a little action.
Well, okay. Of course, the Cobra could do with focusing as well.
Okay, then yes, that is an option that you can do. So at this point, we resolve it in the opposite way that we do the maneuvering. So the Asp will fire first. Now the Asp has a range of it's in range 2 just, which is actually quite good because that means there are no modifiers as far as the targeting is concerned. Range modifiers, rather. Now, the Asp Explorer has weapons of 5 and a gunnery skill of 7. So that gives him a starting point of 13. Now, the Viper has engines of 6, but a piloting skill of 5, which is 11. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll dice for the attacker first, like so. And they get 10. So he's at 22 already. So this means that in order for the Viper to evade, he needs greater than 11. So 9, 18. So unfortunately, the Viper has dodged the incoming fire from the Asp.
I'm sorry, I didn't pick up any sound effects for that. Could you extrapolate those for us?
And I'm sorry, I'm not very good with the pew pew sound effects. I wish there was. I will have a word with Grant next time to make sure that we've got this on the soundboard. So
is this a miss or a hit?
the Asp missed the Viper.
So it's a pew.
Yeah, it's a pew pew pew. Now, at the moment, the Cobra is at extreme range, so it gets -2 against its roll already. Now, you have at the moment a gunnery skill of 6 and weapons of 4, which gives you a total of 10. And of course, the Asp has piloting of 7 and engines of 5, which gives 12. So plus you add the range modifier. So the Asp starts at 14, if you see what I mean. So 8 plus 6, that's 14, 28. That's not too bad. Unfortunately, the Asp gets also exactly the same numbers. So I'm afraid to say, again, the Cobra tries a snapshot, it misses, and doesn't hit anything. So, gentlemen, as there has been no damage to worry about, we'll move on to the next turn. So please choose the maneuver from the deck. Is that supposed to be the new? There seems to be an error with the soundboard on board these ships. For some reason, the lasers now sound like comedy clown horns. I mean, maybe that's something they could actually take under advisement for the next modification of Elite Dangerous. If you get hit by and you get serious damage against your ship, then obviously it damages the sound card on it, which handles all the sound effects. So all of a sudden, all your lasers start sounding like that. Okay, we have our first set of maneuvers in. And there's a second one. Okay. Start with the. See if we can find the. See, of course, in real life, this would be a lot easier because everybody else will be doing their own maneuvers.
I don't know. This is feeling pretty easy myself.
I can't hear you, Colin.
Start with a Viper.
That's it,
So,
yeah.
is it this one you wanted, Stephen, or the other way around?
The other way around.
Right, that's fine. So, before I forget, you're okay with the power levels as they are, aren't you?
I think so, yeah.
Yep, okay. Keep on forgetting to ask about that. So, We'll do a quick 2 round to here. So that's the Viper. Now, do you need to do any special actions like boost? You can focus fire, you can go evasive.
I don't think I'm in firing arc, am I?
You are actually in a firing arc at this point, but it all depends on what he decides to do.
Yeah, so I won't do anything at the moment. that one.
Okay, this is the one point when you actually have to decide when you're doing something, but
Yeah,
okay, so you're going to leave that there
on the Viper, yeah.
on the Viper. The next one that you're doing, I do believe, is that.
Correct.
Right. Good. Well, I'm glad I got something right. Now you are moving your Cobra right to there. Thankfully,
Yeah.
avoiding the Viper. Because if you'd collided with
Yeah.
a Viper, we'd have to do collision rules, which can be quite complicated. Right. Now, at this point here, do you want to focus fire?
Please.
You want to focus fire, right? Okay, what I'm going to do here is I will just put a little icon here next to your ship to remind me that that one gets a bonus to fire. James, you have chosen that. Am I correct?
I think so, yes, sir.
Yes, right. Okay, so right at this moment in time, you get to flip round to there, which means that nobody's going to be able to shoot on anybody. Unless, of course, I think if you can boost, you get round a little bit more, but I don't know whether or not you get in range. Do you want to boost, or do you want to focus fire, or?
If I'm to boost, it will need to continue in the right banking trajectory, right? Or will the boost send me straight on?
No, you can boost a gentle one of those, which I think it might bring you round. Oh, hang on. Brings you round to there. I have to line it up directly with the edge of this. Now, actually, that has brought you round to point blank range on the Viper on its rear quarter. So, oh dear. and you get to fire.
Yeah. Let's just hope there's no arming range on the tabletop like there is in game.
And this one, you actually get +1 to hit because you're at close range. So you have at the moment gunnery of 7, weapons of 5, which of course gives you 12. Add 1 for the range, that's 13. Stephen, you have engines of 6 and a piloting ability of 5, so that's 11. So if I'm going to roll for the attack first, and if you get two less than the attacking roll, then I'm afraid to say your ship's been hit. So, oh, fantastic! Thank you. You got 11 there for the asp. Unfortunately, you've got 7 there. That's 7, 10, I'm afraid to say. So
yeah.
I'm afraid you have just taken 5 points of damage, Stephen. Which means, right, now at the moment, a Viper has shields or systems of 4. So you've got 4 shields, which are basically wiped out in one go, and you've taken 1 hull point of damage. So unfortunately, you've taken a bit of a hit. Right. And there is nothing else that you can do to fire.
No.
No, because he's managed to outmaneuver your arcs, which is a bit of a shame. Right. So in that case, I want you guys to think about your next set of maneuvers, because we have to, that's the end of that game turn. You'll be able to start repairing next game turn, Stephen, if if your Viper manages to survive that long.
What about to managing power?
Yes. What you can do is you can, if you decide, you can move either 1 or 2 power points into your shields, and at the end of the turn you'll get either 1 or 2 shields back. The
Okay.
problem is that you'll lose 1 point from your engines and 1 point from your weapons, which could mean that you might be easier to hit.
Okay. I'll move 1 from weapons into systems.
Okay, well, that's a good move. So if you get to the end of the turn, you will get 1 shield token back.
Yep. So otherwise, I'll work out what my
Maneuvers are going to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens here. There you go.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Got to find the appropriate card. Here we are. That's your card put there.
When it comes to managing power, are we allowed to move more than 1 number from another, or
you can
we
move up
reshuffle
to
them?
You can move up to 2 if you wanted to.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. However, I should point out, if you move power, normally because you're a medium ship, you have an extra power point which goes into shields. However, normally if you'd moved your power point out of shields, you would lost a shield by the end of the turn. Yeah. So you've got to maintain your shields. Right. Okay. Right, bear with me a sec.
Don't throw those cards around. I need them.
I feel like there's a little sabotage at play there.
I have to say, Stephen, I don't think we can do that maneuver because that maneuver is for an elite rated pilot. Your pilot's only rated expert.
Right. I was trying to work out what was okay.
There's an equivalent at a higher number.
As in higher, as in the larger distance.
Yes.
Yeah, I have the larger distance one then.
Okay.
I don't know which one. They all look like they've got the same logo above them. On the,
that might be my fault.
Okay.
But that's the one that I think is available to you.
Okay, so
that's the one. Okay. Now, if that's the case, there's going to be an awful lot of interesting things happening in this one. Right. Now, at this moment, you have moved, Stephen, you've moved power into your shields. James, you wanting to do anything with your power?
No, I'm gonna let it ride.
You're going to let it ride. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so we start off here with Stephen. Now, Stephen's going to do a 5 forward and a backflip, which is effectively a high G maneuver. So you will move to there, like so. And that also means that you are not able to do any special actions this turn. And I will just add next to you a little token which indicates that your pilot is suffering from high G effects. So that's what you've done. Next up is the Cobra. Now the Cobra, that's what you wanted, Stephen?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. That flips round like so. So as we can see, we've had some spectacular maneuvers so far. Right, that's that one there. James, this is yours here, which is the same as the Viper, surprisingly enough. So you have gone all the way to there, and this means, I think, that you cannot hit anything because you're just slightly out of range of the Cobra, and the Viper can take a shot at you at extreme range. So I take it, Stephen, you'd like to have a pop.
Why not? If I
Yeah.
can, I
Not a
might as well.
repercussion
Pew!
of-
Pew! Hit that button.
Is that not a repercussion of the high G maneuvers that we're not able to
No,
take
no,
those actions?
you can fire. However, he
Oh.
couldn't do say a boost, or and he can't focus fire, so he won't get any bonuses. And also, he's going to get even less of a bonus because he's moved power out of weapons, so his weapons won't do as much damage either. But you never know. There might be a a lucky hit.
You can but try.
Good luck.
So, James, at the moment you have piloting of 7 and engines of 5, which gives you 12. You also get, because it's extreme range, my 2 add to that, so you're at 14 to start with. Stephen, you have weapons of 4, which will reduce down by 1 to 3. Plus, also your gunnery skill is 5, so that gives you 8. So you've got to get something like 6 higher than James in order to even hit him. So you managed to get 9. 9 plus 8 is 17. James will need something like 3 or 4 to avoid this, and he manages it with ease. So optimistic at best.
Just a shot across the bows.
Just something to remind you that he's there. Now, as we said earlier, you now get a shield back because you've had your power shoved into systems, extra power shoved into systems. Now, you also have a chance to repair that 1 point of hull damage. What we do is we basically roll a d10.
Yeah.
And if you get higher than 7, then you get it back. Unfortunately, not. You got a 5 there, I'm afraid. Right. So, gentlemen, if you would like to have a think of where you would like your power and what maneuvers you'd like to do for the next turn. Now, bear in mind, you've got 2 ships here which suffer from high G effects, so you might want to do a green maneuver next time so that your pilot can take advantage of their special actions. Right. Okay. Right, we are ready to go for the next turn. As we are progressing, we will. Right, I'll just ask about power. At the moment, Stephen, you still got 2 points into your systems. Do you want to keep it that way?
Yes,
Or
please.
do you want to change it back? Okay. James, are you okay with your power levels?
Let's move one from engines and drop it over into systems as well.
Because you have a medium ship, you've got a spare power point you can take out of systems and put it into weapons if you want. That way you can keep your ship without any disadvantages.
I see. Okay. All right. I'll take the expert's recommendation.
Sorry, Stephen. Okay. Right. If that's the case, we'll start with Stephen's maneuvers, which he has decided to do a straightforward 3. So that is there. Now, this means that you can get rid of your high G effect, and that means that you can now do a special action, which could be boost, focus fire, or evasive maneuvers. Which would you like?
Focus fire, assuming that it's going to be in angle, but I'm guessing it will be by the time. But anyway.
Okay, so you're going for focus fire.
Yeah.
Okay, your next one is, I take it, it's
Right.
that one?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, right. Okay, so that will move you round to here. Now, at this moment in time, I don't think you're going to be in any firing arc. However, if you boost round a little bit more, you could probably get a better angle on him.
Yeah, might as well boost.
Right, okay. So we take one of these and we just boost round like that. It's very, very useful, the boost. Okay, now finally, James, you have chosen that gentle 2, I do believe. And we shift you round. Oh, no, this is going to prove interesting because you are right there. Okay. So you're head on, but unfortunately, it also means that the Cobra is going to be able to fire on you as well this turn, but we'll just wait and see. Now, unfortunately, you didn't perform a green maneuver, which means that your ship is still stressed and can't do any special actions. But I've got a sneaking suspicion that's not really going to matter this turn. Okay. Now, obviously, in this case, every ship can fire on every other. So I would say that you've got standard range against the Viper, but you can't fire on the Cobra. The Viper can fire at you at same standard range, and at the moment, the Cobra can fire at you at standard range as well. So, as you've got the highest gunnery skill, you get to go first, James. I take it you're firing on the Cobra. Sorry, the
you know what?
The Viper.
That's yes. Plot twist. We're gonna do that.
Okay, plot twist for an attack on on the Viper. Right. This is what we want. Right. At the moment, you have a weapons of 6 and a piloting of 7, so that gives you 13, which is a good start. At the moment, you have, Stephen, you have engines of 6 and gunnery, piloting of 5, so that gives you 11. So if James gets too higher in this attack roll, he's hit. And as he's hit with 2 10s, which is a natural. This means, unfortunately, you get a critical hit for every single 0 that you get. And I'm afraid to say, yeah, there's no way you can evade this one, Stephen.
Oh, well.
Yeah, sorry about that. So you're going to take 6 points of damage right from the start, which wipes out not only your last remaining shield point, but the rest of your hull as well. And I'm afraid it goes
Yeah.
past -1.
Yeah.
So
Bye
I'm afraid you've lost the Viper.
Oh, hard feeling, Stephen. It wasn't personal.
However,
you.
however, there's a slight problem because you've been outflanked by the Cobra. And he can fire on you. So the Cobra fires next. It has a gunnery of 6 and a weapons of 4, giving you 10. You have engines of 5 and a piloting of 7, which gives you 12. So Stephen needs 2 greater than your defense roll in order to hit, and gets 5. And you've got 5 as well. So basically, you've missed, which is a bit of a shame. Okay, so we are beginning to run out of time. So at this, we'll have to make this the last turn, unfortunately. But things do speed up because as ships are removed from the board, the game speeds up quite a lot. So we might be able to get 2 turns in if we're lucky. Right. So if both of you could think about what you want for your power and let me know what your maneuvers are going to be.
Okay, just one quick question. I'm still suffering from high G. If I do another one, is my head going to explode, or is it fine?
Oh, yes, I do apologize. I didn't explain this. One high G, if you're suffering from high G, you cannot do another high G maneuver.
Okay, yep. Good to know. No problem. Put this into overdrive then.
Right. And we have Stephen coming back with his as well. So I've just got to find these damn things now. Yours. Okay. I must admit this this game is certainly showing off my receding hairline a lot worse. So.
Mine receded a long time ago.
Right. Okay. So we now have that. What about power levels? Are you guys all happy with your power levels?
For time's sake, sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Right. Okay. We start with Stephen first, and you've decided. Is that the side you wanted to go?
No, the other way around.
Other way around. Okay, that's fine. So we'll just put that there. So you move from there to there. Are you quite sure you wanted to do that, Stephen?
I was hoping for ramming speed, but
you kind of missed him. Oh man, James. Yeah. I think that can only be described as superb piloting, because that just takes you right the way up to there. It takes away your stress token or your high G. You're at a range of 1. Extra power into weapons. Do you want to focus fire, perhaps? I don't know.
I think so.
Okay, right. Stephen, I'm going to give you up. Do you want to try to evade? It gives you a +1 to your engines.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Okay, yeah, so they'll just cancel each other out. But I just felt so sorry for Stephen. I'd let him off that one. Right. You have piloting of 6, engines of 6, so that gives you 12. You have weapons of 5 and piloting of 7, which also gives you 12, but you have a +1 for range. Sorry, you've got weapons of 6, so it's 13 because you've got that extra power point in. So you have a +2 advantage. You managed to get 11 there. and you manage to hit Stephen quite easily for a massive 6 points of damage. So again, Stephen, you've lost all your shields from the Cobra because it had systems of 4, and you've also lost 2 of your hull, leaving it in a precarious state already. Right.
I
So-
think the worms would be stupid.
Yes. I'm beginning to wonder whether or not you deserve the rank of master on this one. I mean, this sounds like a mostly harmless problem pilot rookie
Well,
era, but
the thing is, I was expecting him to move first, so I'd basically slam into him. But hey,
you were going for going out in the blaze of glory,
that's
right?
the one. Yeah.
Well, I think we've got enough time just for one last turn. So if you two guys could try and work out what you're going to do. I have a sneaking suspicion, but we'll just wait and see. You never know.
Gonna have a little fun, hopefully.
Oh, Stephen, you can't do that. You'd have to come to a full stop first.
Okay. So
Yeah, if you do put your ship into reverse,
yeah.
I'm afraid to. You have to actually stop the ship first.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Not river. I was talking about U-turn. I thought that. Oh,
Yep.
sorry. Okay. Yeah. No, actually. Yeah. Yeah. That's all right. U-turn. I meant.
Okay? Fair enough. Right. This is going to be interesting. This is one thing that I have discovered in these games is once you have things at a certain point, people think, right, I know exactly what you're going to do, and the other person does exactly the opposite of what you expect, and before you know it, each of you are off the board, which is always good for a laugh. Okay, so we'll put that there. Right. For the final turn in the match, we have Stephen, who's going to do a 4 forward and flip, which puts him into a high G position. So his pilot goes like that. Oh, by the way, I take it that you want to leave the power levels as they are.
Yeah, might as well. It's the last turn.
Yeah.
Actually, put full to weapons.
Oh,
Everything on the weapons.
Oh, everything on the weapons.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So no engines, no systems whatsoever. Well, there's no point having systems because you got no shields. So that's going to be funny. I have to point out, James, that's the one you wanted, right?
I was aiming to turn left rather than right.
Yeah, because if you put it, if I'd allowed that, you would have gone flying off the other way. But but I take it you'd like this way.
Oh yes, thank you. Yep.
So
looking at the board upside down, I totally gave you the wrong one.
So
I was kind of hoping for a little ramming action there, but that's all right.
Actually, I think a gentle the gentle right turn 4 would have actually taken you right into him, but you are at range 1. You've still got your powers on it for your power straight into weapons, so you've still got that advantage. It's exactly a repeat of last time, so you have a +2 advantage, and you managed to get 9. So you need 11 or greater, Stephen, in order to miss this, and you get 10. Which, actually, you get 1 less because basically you're taking power out of your engines. Yes, I'm afraid to say that is the end of Stephen because he doesn't have enough hull to handle the 6 points of damage which is coming his way. So well done to James. He has been a successful winner of just showing you that the that the Asp Explorer. Look at this. It's an Asp in front of things. There you go. Just make everybody happy.
There was a whole lot of luck in that one, but Stephen, GG's, my friend.
So yeah, I'd just like to thank both Stephen and James for joining in on this one. It is especially James because it's what time over there at the moment?
Oh, it's 7:30 in the morning for now. I got up about 5:30. That's about 5 hours earlier than normal.
Well, we appreciate you making the effort, and I hope that you enjoyed yourself.
I had a blast. I was preparing an excuse. I think my grandmother's rabbit was in the hospital or something, but I couldn't miss it. It was worth it.
Oh,
Just
don't
like,
mention
say
sick
one thing.
bunnies.
Bye
Well, although you lost Stephen, did you still enjoy that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the first time, so hey.
Yes,
That's right.
It's a superb. Right. For those of you who are interested in this, if you're actually interested in doing any more of these remote games, just drop me a line at Phoenix to Fire over Twitter or on Facebook, and I can see if we can do an arrangement like this again, because I've quite enjoyed it, even though I've been running around the board like a loon. So that is the Elite Dangerous Miniatures game. Hopefully next year we'll be able to have this game run in person again. And hopefully by then I will have the rules worked out, not only for the medium ships, but also for the large ships.
Ooh.
Because
Yeah.
yes, and you can see as I've kept it to scale how much bigger these things are. I did a pilot of how much an Anaconda would first of all cost and how big it would be on the scale, and we're talking at least a 30 centimeter long model. It's
basically the table, isn't it?
You need a bigger map.
Yeah, I'd have to set up a double map, which would also mean me having to buy a separate level up. I hope Spider-Man Games would appreciate that. Yes, I will point out, this has been run on a level up, which has been provided by Spider-Man Games. The first version of this edition of this game is available from daftworks.co.uk on the Elite Encounters role-playing game. Second edition still is in development, so I'm afraid to say, well, this is not available for purchase, and neither of the models. I do know every time I do one of these, I get a lot of requests for people saying, "Where can I buy this? Can I buy this model off you?" I'm afraid you can't, not at the moment. So that covers everything for the Elite Miniatures demo. I'm going to hand back to our esteemed colleagues over at Lavecon HQ for the rest of your.
Well, it's mission control, isn't it?
Yes, I think
mission control. Yes, I can help. Your call is important to us. Please hold.
Yes, and I'm afraid to say that the Americans have thoroughly embarrassed us. So
we're experts. We embarrass ourselves every day, so we've got some practice.
So yes, again, I have to thank both James and Stephen for taking part in this demo, and I hope everybody else enjoyed it. So I will hand over to Grant for the rest of your program.
Thank you very much,
props, Colin. Thank you so much.
All right, we will be back shortly. We're just going to get a quick setup ready for the next point, which will be Spider-Man Games. So we'll see you shortly.